Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt and I do like video games, and in today's video we're talking all about Xbox because there's some pretty awesome stuff going around on the internet. Rumors of Xbox Showcase this year, also rumors of the next generation of Xbox and plans for that Xbox. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, up first, I want to talk about the future for Xbox because there's some info that came out in a report from Windows Central by Jez Gordon mentioning the fact that Xbox President Sarah Bond has set up a new team dedicated to game preservation and forward compatibility. Now, I gotta be honest, when I originally read this, I read it as backwards compatibility, and I got really excited because, like a lot of you, I feel like backwards compatibility is one of the more appealing things of the Xbox ecosystem, being able to boot up an original Xbox game, an Xbox 360 game. Obviously, Xbox One and the current generation works as you would imagine, but being able to boot up old generations of Xbox games on current generation hardware is one of the more appealing things of the Xbox ecosystem. And just think of this whole new team dedicated to forwards compatibility being a team that's trying to do the exact same thing, trying to make sure that that carries forward, trying to make sure that, the games that are playable on your Xbox Series S and X and Xbox One, all of those are playable on whatever comes next and whatever comes after that. And same with the controllers. I mean, you can play with an Xbox One controller on your Series X or Series S. I would imagine you'll also be able to play with your Series X and Series S controller on your next Xbox. So it's definitely good to see that they're putting this team together now to ensure that we're not losing access to things that we've bought over the generations, especially the last two generations, going forward with Xbox and future generations. It's definitely something that gives me a pretty big boost of confidence in the whole digital library thing for Xbox. And I'm somebody who definitely takes advantage of that because I own about 300 something games on Xbox right now, and I only have 12 physical games, if that, probably less than that. Definitely gives me a boost of confidence there, and that's definitely appreciated. And I hope to see them continue doing things like this going forward, not just this generation, but next generation and the generation after that. I hope this is a trend that continues. And up next, we're going to be talking a little bit about Gears of War because it seems like it's possible we could be getting the announcement for Gears of War 6 this summer at Xbox's showcase, which, by the way, is rumored to be Sunday, June 9th. So take that with a grain of salt. We'll see what happens. But Sunday, June 9th does make an awful lot of sense because that is right around the time that they usually have their showcase. But getting back to Gears of War 6, this would be absolutely huge, simply for the fact that we've actually had time to miss the series. We haven't had time to miss the series really before. Gears of War 1 led into Gears of War 2, led into Gears of War 3. We had a very short hiatus, or a relatively short hiatus, Gears of War Judgment, and then you had Gears 4, Gears 5. And it's been pretty dark since Gears 5. That was 2019. It's 2024 right now, and I'm assuming the game isn't coming out this year. So, 2025? Maybe early 2026? If that comes out in 2026, it will have been 7 years since we had a Gears game. That's plenty of time for people to start missing that franchise. And this is huge for Xbox because it's usually the Gears of War franchise that is the pinnacle for an Xbox generation. It's usually the benchmark. It's usually the best visuals, the biggest technical showpiece for Xbox during any given generation. It was the same way with the 360 generation, Gears of War 1, Gears of War 2, culminating in Gears of War 3, which was just unreal looking on an Xbox 360. Then you fast forward to last generation with Gears of War 4 and Gears of War 5. Huge technical showpieces for the Xbox One. The Xbox One was a pretty underpowered console, and the fact that you could boot up Gears of War 5 and it looked as good as it did on that console was crazy. And I have no doubt that it's going to be the exact same case for Gears of War 6 on the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. I mean, Unreal Engine 5 is a very impressive engine, and there's not many studios outside of maybe Epic Games who knows the Unreal Engine better than the Coalition, and they show it every single time they make a game. And that's not the only thing we have to be excited about for this year's showcase, because according to rumors, we might also be seeing the new Call of Duty at this year's Xbox showcase. Call of Duty Black Ops Gulf War could potentially be the first Call of Duty game shown at an Xbox event, revealed at an Xbox event no less, under the Microsoft umbrella, and that is going to be huge for Xbox. I mean, think about it. PlayStation's had the marketing rights since Infinite Warfare, I think, was their first game they had the marketing rights for. So this is going to be a huge move for Xbox. If this shows up at their showcase, it's going to help build some of that brand association, some of that brand recognition between Xbox and Call of Duty, which is something that has been missing for the last almost 10 years at this point. And that's not the only Call of Duty news I've got here, because there's also a little bit of a rumor going around that we could soon be getting some news of older Call of Duty games coming into Game Pass. And who knows what older means? It could mean the 360 games. It could mean the older games as in, Black Ops Cold War and before. Who knows exactly what that means, but that would also be huge for Game Pass as well. I know a lot of people, myself included, have a pretty good amount of nostalgia for the classic Call of Duty games. And when I say classic, I mean, I didn't grow up with Call of Duty 1, 2, or even 3. I got into Call of Duty around the same time that a lot of people got into Call of Duty. That was Call of Duty 4. Still to this day, my favorite Call of Duty of all time. But if we can get games like that into Game Pass, that's going to be huge. And I guarantee you're going to see a spike of those players playing online, especially since they fixed those servers this past summer for Xbox 360 versions of those games. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about all this stuff. What do you think about Gears 6 possibly showing up at this year's Xbox showcase? How are you feeling about Call of Duty? Are you optimistic for the next Call of Duty? Are you optimistic about Call of Duty in general, the new Call of Duties, I should say? And are you excited for this whole forwards compatibility thing that Xbox seems to be cooking up behind the scenes for future generations of the consoles? And you know what else? Tell me your favorite Call of Duty in the comments as well. Call of Duty 1 all the way to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, the recent one. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. Leave a like if you like the video. And if you're enjoying this kind of content and you want to stay up to date with it going forward over here on the channel, the best way to do that is consider subscribing, consider ringing that notification bell, because that helps you stay up to date with everything that happens over here on the channel. And it also helps promote me in the algorithm, helps push the videos out to way more people. And I always appreciate that. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.